like to say hello to everyone in TV land. My name is J.T.Thompson. You are watching the Positive Side TV talk show. Our format consists of religion, education, entertainment, sports, the economy, and people that's in business. I would like to tell everyone this is the Positive Side TV talk show. With me is my very, very special guest, the next Justice of Peace, Precinct 3, Position 1, Mr. Joe Stevens. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, John.
Good. Before we get in that, we're going to go over a little history of your past experience. You played basketball at North Shore High School. You was allowed to lead the team semifinal state championship. Could you kind of elaborate on that for me?
I want to first thank you for speaking the judgeship into my future. I'm a Christian and I believe in speaking things into existence. And hopefully that sentiment will be true in a couple of months. Back to my high school career, we did go to the semifinals. I had a wonderful group of teammates back in 1991, many of who are still good friends of mine. We shared a lot of fond memories, and we're the first team at North Shore High School to make it to state. We beat Yates and Milby to go, and that was back when we did it in Hawthorne's Pavilion. And got to Austin and ran into a buzzsaw in Duncanville. They had a big 7-footer by the name of Greg Ostertag, and they beat us in the drum and like a drum. But at any rate, there's a lot of lifelong memories that we have from that, and people in this community still appreciate those times, so very fond memories.
And you are originally from Houston?
I am. Well, I was born in California, but my family moved here when I was 6. I attended Green Valley Elementary, and then they built the new Tice Elementary, which is not new any longer. But I was one of the first classes to go there, and then Cunningham Middle School, and I graduated North Shore High School in '91.
Okay, great. After you finished high school, you had a scholarship to the University of Arkansas, and you met a little guy named Derek Fisher.
Correct. I actually went to Colorado in Boulder my first 2 years. They were in the Big 8 at the time. Big time, just came off a national championship in football, and was kind of behind in basketball, but still in a great conference. Went there, had some good experience, met some great people, ended up transferring to Little Rock, and I was teammates with Derek Fisher, who's a long-time Los Angeles Laker, 18-year NBA career, and now the head coach of the New York Knicks. So,
did you imagine that you and Derek would be actually in the position that you all are in now?
No, man. The irony of it is, our first couple of years in the NBA, Derek being a draft pick, me being essentially a walk-on with the Rockets. We saw each other last week. We honored him in Little Rock at the university and raised a bunch of money for our alma mater, Arkansas Little Rock, and Derek acknowledged me in front of the whole crowd and was basically telling everyone that when we met in '93, we kind of were sizing each other up in the gym. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and he said, Joe asked me at the end of our workout, do you want to go to the show? And Derek's comment was, what is the show? I'm a guy from Little Rock, I don't know what the show is, so I elaborated and I said, the NBA. And he told the whole crowd that before that moment, no one had ever let him know that he could be an NBA basketball player. I still get choked up thinking about it. And he said that at that moment, looking back on it, I saw more in him than he saw in himself.
Right.
And that's what planted the seed. And to think that a guy that goes on to have an 18-year NBA career, 5-time world champion, presumably a Hall of Famer, would credit me for planting that seed. And we had a long conversation about that. I think that's what my life has really been about, is planting seeds, whether it be in youth, people that need a second chance, or just everyday people. You know, you never know when you speak a word to somebody what fruit it can bear. I'm a living example that something that small could blossom into something that big. Because before that, he said he was interning at Arthur Anderson in the summers.
Right.
He was planning on being an accountant, having a couple of kids, and living in a little 2-story house in Little Rock. So I can't take all the credit, but I will say that he's a dear friend and our lives were both changed forever by meeting one another, because my life has been excellent. Derek's work ethic was what I took from that relationship, and it still serves me today in politics, in the school district, and just being a steward and an example to kids that you can be from East Houston, you can come from humble beginnings, and you can make something of yourself.
Great. Kind of define the parents that you had as you grew up, your parents.
Man, Joseph and Cheryl Stevens, they've been married for 47 years, just celebrated their 47th wedding anniversary. And, as you get older, as a 42-year-old man, I can say that the lessons I learned growing up in my house, being from 3 generations of college graduates, which is rare in our community, has really shaped the man that I've become. My dad had a lot of tough love, but now I understand, being a young African-American man, what he was trying to get out of me. And can't tell you how much I appreciate him for that. And it's what drives me today in terms of pushing young men to become young men. Pull your pants up, get a job, stop looking for a handout. I give you a hand up, but I'm not gonna give you a handout. You're a man. I was fortunate that I was born to a 2-parent household. Many of our kids nowadays aren't privileged to be born to a 2-parent household, so I'm very empathetic toward their plight. I don't take it for granted, and I don't give them a pass, but I do understand that where I started off as +3, because I had a mother and a father, this kid may start off at -3, and there's some things about being a man that he didn't have growing up, that sometimes I try my best to stand in the gap. Can't save the world, but I try my best to stand in the gap with a good word and leading by example.
Okay, you had an opportunity to play with the Houston Rockets, and you told me earlier there were some guys in your life actually took you under their wing and really looked after you during that current time. And we just lost one of the greatest basketball players that ever lived, Moses Malone, chairman of the board.
Moses Malone, Clyde Drexler, Mario Ellie, guys that I idolized as a child, who could have been pretentious, could have been standoffish. He's just a little rookie.
Right.
Man, really embraced me. Just had a conversation with Moses last week. He was committed to playing my golf tournament next month. I can't tell you, to lose Moses is like losing a father. It's, just a genuine guy that cared about people, and you don't find that very often. Look, the NBA is a very pretentious league. I tell people it's a movie, it's not real. And unfortunately, sometimes guys get caught up in that movie and they start believing the lifestyle as if it's gonna be like that forever. But when that camera stops and the movie's over and the popcorn stops popping, typically we all have to go get jobs. And unfortunately, some guys can't adapt to that. Moses, Clyde, Mario have all done an excellent job of adapting to that. And I'm very fortunate again. It's like God has always ordered my steps and put me around the right people. And my parents had a lot to do with that too, in telling me who you should gravitate towards. And those are the guys that kind of embraced me, man, and I've been very blessed.
Okay, now you talked about your golf tournament. Give us more information on the date and the location.
It's October 26th. It's going to be at River Terrace Golf Course right off of Wallaceville Road. It's a course I kind of grew up on in Channelview. Best greens in Houston. Scenery is a bunch of plants and refineries, but we're going to have a good time. Raise a little money. I'm having a fish fry after that behind the courthouse, kind of pattern it after what Judge Mike Parrott has always done, who's a tremendous asset and a mentor to me. And I can't tell you how much Mike and I have in common. Our stature and the obvious physical attributes couldn't be further from being like one another. But when you get inside of us both, we're so much alike, and I can't tell you how much respect I have for him, and it's a true testament to his service when he has a golf tournament or when he does something, man, people show up and spend the kind of money you would never believe that a JP, a lowly justice of the peace, can raise. So I firmly believe it doesn't matter what position you hold, it doesn't matter the office you have, your impact on people, you don't even have to have an office. You can impact people, and he's a true example of that. So I hope my tournaments can be as fruitful as his have been from an experience standpoint and from a fundraising standpoint.
Okay, could you give a person your phone number and your website just to invite them to the tournament?
Absolutely. The phone number is 713-240-2886, and that is my personal cell number of 23 years. And the website is www.votejoestevens.com. That's VOTEJOESTEPHENS.com. You can get whole sponsorships. You can sign up a foursome if you want to get advertising for your business or your family. You can buy banners. And it's supporting a worthy cause, because I'm truly about our kids and our community. And like my slogan says, I'm standing tall for the kids in the community.
Great, great. I see that you have a foundation, and you have worked with so many kids, and they're actually coming to your foundation. So many kids that got scholarship, about over 150.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that for me, please?
We, the Joe Stevens Foundation is, we actually do basketball camps from that foundation. And we would take kids and we would groom them and mentor them. Me and just some buddies of mine who, ironically, we've all gone on to be very successful. One of my buddies is the HR director, Todd Hertz, who we all had a passion for kids. Todd Hertz is now the head football coach at Channelview High School. He's got one son at Texas Southern who's a quarterback. His other son just signed with Alabama University. So we even impacted our own kids,
right.
Not to mention community kids. We would take them at 8 in the morning. Parents would drop off sometimes at 6:45. One of us would get up every day, and we'd keep them till 5:30. Now that I have my own kids, I realized that was unbelievable for $100 a week. Many of the kids were on scholarship at the camp, but I can't tell you how many kids come back to us now saying how much we've helped them. Through my mentorship in those camps, parents would call me, and my career with the Rockets was over. I'd be in Europe getting phone calls.
Right.
Parents asking me, "Hey Joe, my son really looked up to you. Could you call him because he's having trouble in school?" Some of them would drop out, and this is before we had our night school in Galena Park ISD. I'd pick them up and take them down to Can Academy, get them re-enrolled in school so they can get their high school diploma on an accelerated program, get caught up with their peers. Being on the school board, running for Justice of the Peace, I was serving long before that, and as God would have it, wasn't even thinking about politics and running for office. It's just kind of been a natural progression, and we have helped a lot of kids, and I can't take any credit. All I did was try to put them back in bounds. They had to do the work, and fortunately they did it.
I'm gonna say this: you really have compassion for the youth, and also you started your own business. You had a mortgage company, then you wind up with an insurance company, which you are currently operating right now in the Houston area. And also, we can't leave this out. Let's talk about your better half.
My wife, she's a true blessing. I tease her all the time and say she's about 12 months pregnant. We are expecting any day now. Our third daughter has been just a blessing to allow me to go out and campaign late nights and early mornings and really, take care of the kids. And I don't know what I'd do without her. She's truly a better half, and God has blessed me with her. And for that, I'm really thankful.
Okay, we'll go back to the tournament one more time. So actually, you're inviting people to the tournament, and you're telling everybody you have to win?
Well, to be honest, I won't even be playing.
Oh, okay.
I will be serving everyone, making sure they have a good time, and allowing them to win.
Right. So anybody can participate?
Anyone can participate, yeah. And it's, like I said, it's for a worthy cause. John, I'll be quite honest, coming into this campaign, I wasn't used to asking for anything. And part of campaigning is asking for money. And Pastor Rudy Rasmus, who's my pastor, I said, "Well, Joe, you got to look at it differently. They're not giving the money to you. They are donating to a worthy cause, allowing you to expand the reach that you've already proven that you are going to serve and do good when you get it. So, you know, it's going toward a worthy cause, and again, it's going to allow me to continue to help people, which is what I've built a lifetime doing. I think what I'm learning is in politics, sometimes there's the unknown when you elect someone. Sometimes you elect people that have never held public office.
Right.
You don't know what they're going to do when they get in. You're kind of hoping that they would fulfill some of the promises that they stood up in the Civic Club meeting and told you they were going to do. You can research my history. I'm already doing what I'm telling you I'm going to do. This office is only going to allow me to have expanded resources so that I can expand my reach.
We have a lot of young people that's actually watching our show. It's primarily for our youth, but just as well as the community. So what information you would like to leave and tell them about some things that you feel like they should do?
If I had one mantra that I like to repeat to kids, it's shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you're still among the stars.
Okay, great.
Set your goals high. You have big dreams, big dreams. I'm a living example. Who would have ever thought a kid from East Houston would go on to play NBA basketball, have a 10-year career? Derek Fisher, Little Rock, Arkansas, 5-time NBA champion, 18-year NBA career. I'm not saying it's going to end up being I'm a school board president now, aspiring to be a justice of the peace in an elected position in Harris County. It may not end up that big, but you can dream big. I tell kids, if you dream big, I want to be a college basketball player for a Division I university. If you shoot for them, that's your moon. Mm-hmm. Maybe you land on a star and you get a full ride to Baytown Lee College.
Right.
Which is still 2 free years of college. Mm-hmm. So man, dream big, dream big. And then when you get to where you want to go, when you set those small goals and start accomplishing big goals by accomplishing those small goals, always reach back and give somebody else a hand up, because all of this is bigger than us. And I want to leave you with one thing too for kids. It's never about me. You know, I learned a long time ago from my grandfather, who's deceased now. He always said, "Grandpa, what do I got to do to be successful?" And he'd look at me and say, "Jojo, you got to be a day early and have exact change." Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as luck.
Right.
Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Mm-hmm. You create your own luck. So that's what I leave them with.
Right. Well, what I would like to say too, if my legacy, when they, kick dirt in my face, I would like to say, and everybody believe in my motto is say, not me, Lord, but others.
But others.
Let me read off some things you have. You've been, Paul, you've been a president on the school board of Galena Park, North Chamber of Commerce board member, Barrett Station Civic League president, Highland Lynchburg Chamber of Commerce member, Galena Park Rotary member, former Wood Forest Section 26 HOPA president, lifetime members of the community, master's degree in business administration, former Houston Rockets small business owner, businessman, husband, and father. So in closing, Joe, why should they vote for you?
I just say vote for Joe Stevens because he is going to do what he says he's going to do. He's going to serve with honor, pride, and most of all, humility.
Okay, thank you. This is Mr. Stevenson and J.T.Thompson with the positive side. Take care and make sure you do go vote. Thank you, Joe. Maybe we'll be able to do this again, and God bless you.
Thank you, John. I'm honored to be here, and I'm appreciative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.